Hi.
joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us about Gemelli. What's the story behind it and how did it come about?
It's actually very interesting because I wrote the first draft of Gemelli here in Rome while I was attending the first year of AUR. So that's really interesting. Gemelli was about and is about, I guess, the concept of vice and how it is the antidote for our postmodern life. So there's actually a lot that I've learned at AUR that I have applied to the script. So that's very interesting to me. And so the story behind the Gemelli is that there are two main characters, Filippo and Simone, that live in this small town on top of a hill, and it's a small town populated only by old people. And one day, Nadia, this femme fatale, walks into this old town and makes them discover their true self. So there's a lot of Hitchcockian concepts and a lot of, communication concepts behind this script that I've learned at AUR.
So the film, as Ellie was saying, the film was shortlisted and made it to the finals of the Festival del Cinema Europeo.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What was that experience like, and did you expect it so fast after you graduated?
No, I actually thought it was going to take a little bit longer, but it's always so incredible, to produce and make a movie and then you see it selected in a festival, but to be selected to a festival that is recognized by the EU is just even better. So we actually got news that we got selected and that the Festival del Cinema Europeo was interested in our project back in March, but in the email it said you can't tell anybody, so we had to shut up and keep the secret. So then back in September they actually told us that we got shortlisted and selected, and so a couple of weeks ago then they told us that we made the finals, and then our production company Kraken, the production company, basically premiered the poster with the logo of the festival, which was incredible. I mean, it's just so good, so amazing to see the poster for your film, but also to feature the logo of the festival. It's just really, really cool. Yeah.
A strong start.
Absolutely.
A very strong start. And how much of this was kind of a solo project? Who else were you working with on the film, and how did you end up collaborating with them?
So to make a film, it takes a village. That's a saying that I like to use a lot. So I actually collaborated with this production company, which is called Kraken. It's a small production company that invests a lot in young directors and young artists, and it's basically an associated company with Draca Production, which is the mother company of this Kraken production house. And Draca Cinema and Draca Production is basically one of the biggest production companies in Puglia. So I actually, talked with the producer, who's a friend of mine, and he liked the script. And then basically he said, yeah, let's make this film with Kraken, which is, the smaller production company that invests a lot in young artists. And it just, happened. I worked with a lot of professionals, with a lot of very qualified people, and it was just an incredible experience. It was my first time doing a big project like this with a big budget, so yeah, it was very, very cool.
And how long did the production take?
I wrote the script in the first year of AUR, and then basically I would say we started in November to do some rewrites, some tweaks to the script, and then in around January, we started, doing casting calls and location scouting, which is very important. And we ended up shooting in Molise, which is such a beautiful region, and we shot it in March. So I would say between January and March, and then up until April, the last couple of days of April, which was the deadline for the capstone project. And then basically we premiered at AUR with the capstone, and then after that we just did the music all over again, just because I didn't like it and I wanted to redo it. And then, so yeah, I would say like around 4 months to do everything.
Mazza, that's quick.
Yeah.
That's very quick.
And was this your first experience directing? And had you had the chance to kind of, I mean, it sounds like you were obviously doing this film at the same time as building up your skills at AUR. So did you have other opportunities at AUR to develop your directing skills?
Yeah, actually, it was the first time directing, a project with a budget, a project, with a lot of professionals involved with a production company. But during my time at AUR, I actually got the chance to direct, thanks to Professor Kopersky and Professor Villani and Rambaldi. I actually took a class with Kopersky, and I actually directed, I think, my first short film with him that I wrote, and then with Professor Rambaldi and Villani, I actually took a summer course at Cinecittà 3, which was amazing because we had a lot of gear, professional gears, professional lighting, sets, and so they actually gave me the chance to direct a short film that I wrote. So it wasn't my first time directing, but it was my first time directing something with a big budget. That's what I would say.
And what would you say is the most valuable thing or the most valuable things you've learned from the experience?
I mean, you have to be able, to not only please everybody, but you have to learn how to compromise and to negotiate, but also at the same time to stand up to your ideas. So if you have a gut feeling and that feeling is telling you that your idea, it's worth putting on this big screen, I think you should, stand up for your idea and just defend it, because of course producers and production designers are always gonna want to tweak it, of course, just to save money or just to make it, more appealing to a mass audience. But if you have a feeling, you have to be able, to stand up for your idea, but at the same time you have to learn to compromise and negotiate. So that's the biggest, lesson that I've learned.
And so, since you graduated in May 2019 when the film premiered, and between then and the cinema festival, what other projects have you been involved in?
I've done quite a lot. I was, right after graduation, I directed my first opera, opera lirica, La Tosca by Giacomo Puccini in Neucattaro, so my hometown, and it was a huge production. It's from Neucattaro Lirica, which is this amazing associazione culturale, so association that does one event per year, but it's a huge event, and they actually let me, build my own stage, and we had to customize it. So the production designer actually, in collaboration with me, built it with, secret doors and secret stairs and a podium inside of it. It was so cool. And then we got this huge, the backdrop of our stage basically was this huge LED wall, and we created 3D animation and 3D backgrounds, so it was really amazing. Then after that, I went to Kenya in Africa to be an assistant director for a documentary TV show about shamans, and then what else? I went to Milan to direct the Rigoletto, another opera by Giuseppe Verdi, and then we went to Morocco to keep shooting the series, and then we went to Berlin to the film festivals and the film market in collaboration with the same production company, Draca Cinema, to buy some film rights to distribute here in Italy. So it's been quite a busy year.
So it must have been a shock when March came around and you suddenly couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, in March, the quarantine, it was a forced break, a very much needed one that I realized that I needed after a while. But it was a much needed break, I would say.
And in your work, does the city of Rome influence your work at all?
Absolutely. I find myself always coming back here, back in Rome, just to write and to create. I have my own apartment, and I just find myself walking through the streets of Rome and just looking at art. And even though maybe most of the times I do not set my stories, my films, my whatever in Rome, I try to take some elements, maybe like some people, some conversations that I've seen, that I've heard on the streets of Rome, and just, you know, put them in the world of my story, or just, you know, take inspiration from the colors, from the art here in this amazing city, and just, you know, transform it and applying it to my works. So yeah.
And I mean, you're clearly very much like into the industry and doing big things already, but is there a project in your mind that you feel like one day that's like your big dream project?
Yeah, I actually wrote a book, and I've signed a couple of months ago a deal for publishing and distribution of this book called I Bagnanti. And so hopefully one day I'll get to make a feature film, not a short film, but like a legit film about my book. So that's, you know, my dream for now. Hopefully I'll dream about something bigger in the future, but for now I would say the big dream is to make a movie out of my book. So hopefully it will happen.
That's wonderful. When is the book gonna come out?
It was actually going to come out in December, but because of coronavirus we got delayed of a few months. So hopefully February, March, hopefully. But I mean, I signed the contract, I signed everything, so it has to come out. I don't know when. Thank you so much.
I really want to read it.
Thank you. Will do.
Please bring us a copy or no, scusa, I'll
Send
buy a
it.
copy.
I'll send it. I'll send it.
We'll support you.
Thank you.
So, if you think back at AUR, was there any specific class, project, something about an experience related to AUR that had a big impact on your work?
Yes, I really mean this. There are 3 professors that I really just that are really just amazing, and I owe them a lot. Professor Rambaldi, Kopersky, and Coretti, of course. You know, at AUR is such an incredible community, and every class doesn't feel, you know, like something that you must do, that you have to do, but it feels like, you know, something that you want to do. And these professors really have such an incredible passion for what they do that it's infectious. So you just learn a lot during class, and you cannot believe that an hour and a half has gone by. So yeah, I would say, you know, not only film knowledge, but also the work ethic that these 3 people, you know, just teach you and have taught me. Yeah, I owe a lot to them. So AUR, it has been a big part of my life, and it has influenced me a lot. So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah. And could you single out one particular element of being at AUR that you enjoyed the most, or that you valued the most?
I don't know if a class or anything, but I would say just like the environment. AUR, it is a small community, but it's so intense, and the fact, I know everybody says this, but they say it because it's such a fundamental part of why AUR, I think, has changed so many lives. It's because there are people from all over the world and from different backgrounds that you cannot stay a closed-minded person staying at AUR. Like, your mind, I mean, becomes so open, and I don't know, it's just, yeah, I have so many good friends in the United States, in Egypt, in Turkey, in Mexico, Bolivia, from all around the world, and it's so amazing, and I can still call them friends. We still write to each other every single day. I don't know, it's really special, and you know, if you need inspiration for anything, if you need some motivation, you know, there are friends that always remind you of AUR, and these friends are always there for you. So yeah, that's the best thing about AUR, absolutely.
So now we wanted to do like a round of quick fire.
Okay.
So you have like, we say 2 options, and you need to say your preference as quickly as possible.
Oh my God, yes,
Bene?
yes.
Okay, so I'll start. Vai. Aperol or Campari?
Campari.
Supli o fior di zucca?
Supplì.
Monteverde or Trastevere?
Trastevere.
American or Italian breakfast?
Italian for me. I'm sorry.
Archi o litro?
Archi.
Colosseum or Pantheon?
Coliseum.
Bene. Well, that's all from us. Thank you,
Thank
Rocco,
you
for
so
joining
much.
us.
Thank you.
And the best of luck. You don't need it, clearly, but we're very, very proud of you and all your achievements. And
Yeah, we
remember
can't
that.
wait to see what comes next.
Essi.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you.